I was going to mention something. I'm not going to mention, but I am going to break my own post's words because, hey, the video that was supposed to come out first, quote unquote first, did not actually come out first. Also, this is a test run, so pain is going to happen. But we're working with Rash Decisions, so I'll explain everything as we go on because I don't know what Future Jordan, and by Future Jordan I mean me, is going to use for the thumbnail. So, as we get into Zectast, Rash Decisions, Random Item Stats, Custom Character, a new custom character. If I didn't play the other one at least for 2 videos, then let me know, but otherwise, the only thing to mention is that, yeah, so I added some artwork. It's not final because I spent like 2 hours, I spent 2 hours, basically, on top of more hours, basically working out the rest of the text. Knowledge, Light, Strength, Dexterity, Second Encounter, maybe Second Mystery. We'll try to survive. I really need to focus, but I also want to talk about other stuff because, yeah, I realized I just made the next 36 hours harder on myself. So, I'll explain in a moment. I'll still keep this kind of, bug testing, or play testing Valentine's heart, just to see how many hearts I can get during the run, keeping in mind we're on Zectast as well, so, yeah. So what do we have? Valentine's End instead of Teacher, and then A. So Valentine's, Nails, Bulletin, End, and Festival. We don't get a free weapon. So my next question is, what else do we have? That's not a real spell. I'm going crazy. I mistranslate. So how I'm translating some characters that are actually not in a non-English language is that I am translating basically any bonus items they get. I forgot that I thought I translated that correctly. I guess I did not, because that does not exist in the in real life. So, without further ado, you can read the text if you want. Just know that they aren't final. That's why I'm not reading them out right now. But that being said, I think it is important to actually add some sort of lore to your mystery. Also pain. So we didn't get a single item that I could use there. So Army Knife it is. It looks like Army Knife. Yeah, Army Knife. So off we go. Never mind. That I didn't have enough money for that. So instead, we're going to sell this medical kit and try again. I'm going absolutely insane. Thankfully, we weren't punished too badly. Actually, we have enough funds, so I don't know why it said that I did not have enough funds. Am I going wait, was the fund amount randomized when I entered that? I never actually noticed that before. Anyway, let's move on with life. I did not get anything from the history club, so we'll just move on. Otherwise, all you really need to know is that, yeah, so I added basically the boss graphic. There are probably 2 more events that I need to make graphics for, but aside from that, I'm not going to make it too hard on myself. I didn't want to try to be too fancy and make a linked event that's pretty long. If there are any events that are quote-unquote linked, then oh, that's right, I'm on Rash Decision. Then what I'll end up doing is I will try to make it very short. So, shrug, 70, I think this is actually like 90%, sorry, why did I say 70%? We just take this damage in the face, and I will continue using the heart. Yeah, so I think I've decided I'll allow you to use the trinket in 1 encounter. You could just use the trinket for enough Valentine's hearts in the first encounter there. Yeah, and I'll just leave it like that for the moment. But if that's too much, if that sounds lazy, then I guess I'll try to make it work only once per encounter. That's relatively simple to do. I would just assign a variable, probably a string. Could just set it to some kind of fake pseudo-boolean variable, and by that I mean... So for those who don't know programming, to explain in 15 seconds, there is a type of variable called a boolean. Basically, you're asking if something is true or false. Oh my goodness, police station, by the way. And if the variable is true, then you can use that information to do certain things. Now, you might ask, well, why does this exist separately from variables that are, say, words or numbers? It's because booleans are usually less, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who actually knows a lot of programming, but usually booleans are easier and they are less, their size is a lot smaller to store. So when you're working with booleans, you don't have to worry about, well, if you're using like a million booleans as opposed to a million integer variables or something like that. That's a very, very simplified, dumbed down example, but the point is made, and the reason for that should be simple enough. You can store an infinite amount of numbers, but booleans usually only need to store, well, 2 variables, true or false. And when I say pseudo-boolean, that was not 15 seconds, by the way, but bear with me. Yeah, when I mention a pseudo boolean, I mean that you can essentially just make a variable a number, and in a way, booleans can be Booleans, as will simply be told, are often 1 for true or 0 for false, although anything that is a non-zero is technically true as well, I believe. But anywho, that's a lot of theory stuff that we don't need to go into, but just know that I'm just probably going to assign either a number to 1 or 0, or just make a string. I'm going absolutely insane here. I have not been focusing. I should have probably just taken the damage. I'm taking a lot of damage now because of what I've done, but meh. Interesting to know for anyone who's just interested in base World of Horror stuff is that even if you have a spell that doesn't work, it doesn't actually crash the game, which is nice. The fact that that World of Horror does not crash in a lot of instances is very, very nice. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I could just take -1 all here, but we'll just take the stamina damage. Yeah, because that is the guaranteed option. I thought the right option was the guaranteed out. It was not. By the way, guaranteed out is my own self-made phrase. That's not cool or anything. It's just what I use to kind of fill in time by saying it's basically a choice in which you don't roll any stat checks and you just usually will end up taking damage. Sometimes nothing happens, and that's kind of more a free version, but I think I've made the point. Anywho, we can one-shot this if we hit every single attack. It would be nice because, yeah, it would save a lot of time. I never got the handcuffs, by the way. Never mind, I did get the handcuffs, so we're going to use them here. Because I think in 2 turns I can handcuff tech this enemy. Might be able to do better, but I'm not going to take the risk. We can't really brace into anything significant because of the power value. Yeah, do I want a coin flip? No, so I'm going crazy. So I guess I'll just show... No, we'll do another run. Zektast is Zektast. So we now get at least Ath, which is a lot nicer to work with. But also my own choices. I mean, Rash Decisions is still at medium intermediate difficulty backstory, in my opinion. Obviously, that's just me going off the rails and saying that because there's not really a way to judge. I mean, certain characters or conditions, you'll like a backstory better than another backstory. That being said, 7th Curse is probably going to be better in most situations. So, Knowledge, Second Mystery, Strength, Charisma, Light, and maybe Second Encounter, and let's just rush forward. With this character, I should probably take the Hardware Store instead, but I'm going to enjoy my RNG when I actually get reward here in a hot moment. So, no, I saw ramen. Close, not quite. So Valentine's, and then, yeah, Valentine's and going over B, that's fine. Mermaids, Coma, ramen. So, yeah, as always, we take Valentine's first. Again, that's the intended one. You might ask here, Jordan, why didn't you just make... Oh, I didn't get a weapon, by the way. Jordan, why didn't you just make Valentine's one big mystery? I think you can't... I forgot if you can actually go through 14 investigations or more. But nonetheless, it's more that I wanted you to start with something and then end at a higher point. And if nothing else, for you to use the trinket throughout a run, as opposed to just taking something and then not being able to do anything with it later, or keeping everything contained in one mystery, as another way to say things. I was trying to figure out the best way to say that. But, as we get a 92 speed, 5 damage army knife, yeah, I wanted you to start doing something at the beginning of the run, throughout the run, and then end with a big boss fight at the end, which is not something you can often set up without using 2 mysteries. There are kind of pseudo ways to do so, but I would not recommend it. So, and most of them, they have to do with kind of just random events, which are pretty much randomized. You can force certain events to happen more often, but yeah, again, you would have to jump through a lot of hoops to do such a thing. So we're gonna gamble here, while I also look for another heart. And yeah, we're not gonna hit 2 attacks, so just off we go. I am going to still use this corpse dust. I need the experience now, so off we go. Now, the other thing I could have done is also use these Valentine's hearts in the previous run, but I'm shrugging real life as I say, if I used up those hearts, I probably would not have found a better time, because in the end, you are still using this trinket and taking a cost. It's not like you get a free cost at times. You will either lose 1 stamina, 1 reason, so... And by using a heart, you heal 1 stamina, so you would just overall be losing a heart anyway. Nice luck check, by the way. Even if we... Oh no! I used the corpse dust and my luck's dropped by 2. How would I have passed that? I think that was a 7-8 roll, but anywho. Yeah, I'll just take -1 all there. I think that the other one is Doom, which I don't want to take at the moment, because we're already at 28%, and I'm kind of sad. That being said, though, I do have to kind of gamble here. Because oftentimes, I mean, I should not be taking the right option. It is muscle memory kind of guiding my hand, literally and figuratively. So, yeah. Coma, mermaids. We can't take Coma last, so we have to end up taking Mermaids into Coma, and I think we'll take Ramen. Ramen is relatively safer, so I'd rather lose a bunch of Reason at the end of Coma, and then move on with life. I think if you take the left option there, it might be bad. I don't remember. This one, we definitely take the not Impulse Decision, because that mannequin does quite a lot of damage. Ooh, a Medusa Mask again. Perm-specific item, take 1 less damage from Eldritch enemies, but I forgot the other effect. Small chance to deflect curses, which means that I guess they don't hit you, or you don't get afflicted with the curse. Out of curiosity. So yeah, 1 reason, 2 doom. That was not worth the -1 all we could have been losing, basically. If for no other reason than Doom and Reason, I value much more than Stamina. Oh, goodness. We will do this, though. Yeah, again, I do need to start rolling here, though, because not taking our rash decisions tends to not work so well. I would like to hit 2 out of 3 of these, if so, but also hitting just a bunch of all of them would be also cool. We do need to get... I think we still need another Valentine's. Yeah, we need... I would actually need 4 here. Are we going to get to do that? I guess we'll find out. But first, we'll take the burns. So, off we go. So yeah, on a Valentine's run, we'll call it a Valentine. I'm just using that phrase at the moment, but you should understand what I mean. Yeah, you are taking a lot of damage overall. It's meant to be somewhat difficult. On a non-Harbinger difficulty, it is a lot less difficult because you're dealing with a lot less, basically negative effects, which would hurt you with Harbinger difficulty. So on top of the damage that you might be taking trying to get hearts, it's still off balance by, say, if you're playing on Cultist, by the Doom decrease after every mystery, on top of not taking as much damage from enemy encounters. And also the boss, if you need to fight the boss of Valentine's End. So, yeah, it's a whole smorgasbord of pain on Harbinger, but much less so on Cultist. Not that I've played this mystery on Cultist yet, because obviously I'm still making it, but hey, and the last parts aren't really going to be that much, so I can start working on it now. It's just that, or I could start playtesting the mystery much more intensively now, but I might as well get the rest of the mystery done. And by that, I mean, it's really just 2 events during Valentine's End. During Valentine's, the beginning, the first part, not really much happens aside from the first 2 events. So basically, I've done all that you will be doing in the first part of Valentine's, but in Valentine's End is where I need to basically polish everything and polish everything. Oh goodness, the stamina damage. Well, thankfully we're out this turn, but vampire enemies. So we take our prescribed Reason damage, and then we move on with our life. We lose Bath, by the way. That's not good to see, but we might be able to survive this. Into Ramen we go. So we're definitely going to rest, because, yeah, with losing the Bath, there's no way we got Fetid Fumes, unless we're on Herald, but that would be very unlucky. So we'll open this box, roll a 12, and oh no, I used the corpse dust. Oh my luck. Oh, but anywho, I have to keep repeating it when it happens. RNG is such a roller coaster for me specifically, at least. I don't know what it's like for you, but boy oh boy does it hurt for me. So we'll just take this Doom damage in the face, swing for the fences, and if we don't hit enough of them, then, well, guess we take 8 Doom, probably, maybe even more. So yeah, this encounter specifically though, it's not like you have much of a choice because you're limited to 5 actions, as I almost broke the rule there. So we gamble, and we lose the gamble, and I just get really sad. 4 into a guaranteed strong, at least. But yeah, that's a lot of Doom to take. We gotta actually Monument now. So, 2 Reason. We'll try again. 3 Reason. We're gonna heal Reason in this level up. So, could visit the schoolyard to grab Ally. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do that really good. Never mind. That's right. Burn down school. Are we also on 7th Cursed? I thought we were for some reason. No, rash decisions. I'm going absolutely insane. But if we can stay focused to reach Valentine's End, it would be nice. Doom-wise, we can. Stamina and Reason-wise is another question. I could also throw away these Valentine's hearts, but probably would not be good. I also need, again, I still need 2, so I forgot to use the trinket to try and grab more hearts. But hopefully we run into something. If we run into Rioter, we can at least use the trinket and then run away, but here, yeah, at max it's going to take me 6 more attempts. So even just considering that, yeah, you are taking about 3 all damage at most, so it is something to think about. Also, did I get another one? Yeah, I did, right? It looks like I did, so we're gonna... Nope, we're gonna actually just run away. I was like, 5 stamina damage, oh boy, pain. But also, yeah, I was about to say, also rolling events well would help immensely as well, but... Time skip, alright, cool. All we need to do is reach the end of this mystery though, and I'll be a lot happier. So, yeah, let's find out. Valentine's End, just making sure we don't want to hit Valentine's B. And again, you can read whatever's on screen, pause if you need to, but I will just be moving forward because there are some text tests I want to do. I wanted to make sure that I got the oh, that's right, these are impulses as well. Oh, I completely forgot. Oh, I guess we'll help them out. So... That's on purpose though, knowing rash decisions, even though that's not really, like, I think only up to like 6 people max in real life have played with perm on rash decisions at this point. So, oh my goodness, by the way, hold on, are we in pain here? Yeah, we are, we have to run. So, oh, it's because we have burns as well. We can't actually run from this encounter. Okay, good to know. Then I guess we're just gonna swing for the fences. So, I was gonna mention something, I have to focus on this dog. I also have to focus on getting rid of the burns, but that's something I have to do later. So, strong, moving on, and then just a little random note, if you see another video game pop up on this channel, because it's not going to be what I mentioned anywhere in the past, then yeah, you're going to find out. It's going to be a trying to play video, and I'm going to be trying to play. Also, we are in a lot of pain here, so shrug. I think one thing I will note, if I survive long enough to see, is that... when we might as well visit the monument again. Okay, cool. Not so, but meh. I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, moving on. Oh yeah, I probably will stop right before something. Oh my goodness, if I can roll a gosh dang check, it would be nice. But yeah, I will stop just to explain something really quickly for behind the scenes and for the sake of the player. Oh my sweet goodness. 97%. No way. This should be guaranteed, right? It is guaranteed. 20 damage minimum. And yeah, we actually have a bit of things to go through, so can't take the doom. Hope we survive. We're so close. We're so close. Just need to reach the end here. Oh my goodness, the doom! No! Why can't I roll this? RNG. I mean, I'll at least show you Valentine's End because there's not really much after the boss fight, so we'll just go into Valentine's End really quickly and move on with life. So, without further ado, oh, you can't make this up. No, actually, there's no way for me to defeat this boss. So this is the reason why you cannot take End immediately, although I will allow you to avoid the boss. I haven't finished the events, so yeah, not really much else to say on that point, but... as we had neared the end, we could have actually survived there if I had focused a bit more and made smarter decisions on top of just remembering events. Probably could have survived that run, but shrug, right? So as we continue moving on, now the game wants me to succeed. I think I succeeded that event, but yeah, now the game wants to succeed. Now the game wants to give me low rolls. Like, this is just case in point, as we're also just trying to show things. Like, I can't stress enough, even with the corpse dust, I would have passed that luck check. It's ridiculous, but anywho. So you might be wondering, yeah, one thing to note is that you might be wondering that if you aren't using perm, are you going to fight the boss that we're going to see in a moment? No, I have something planned. So another thing I want to mention is that I will try to give you hints. I usually, even just as a game developer, but just in general, I try to give you at least minimum 2, but really 3 hints that you should be doing something. So yeah, and this would have been the point that I got all the hearts, but in another sense, I mean, if you're watching and or listening to this, then yes, you are getting spoiled here and there. But as I show you Arika-chan here, she is, yeah, not looking so well. I do have to make, again, polish up this art, but if you wanted to know, because I think I didn't show it at the timestamp at the beginning, as we try to kick our way out, but to no avail, because there's also an Eldritch enemy. Wait, can you not? Yeah, you can Necronomicon insta-kill Eldritch enemies, but again, you have to be a very specific character or using the Necronomicon to do so. So as we just futilely kick our way out, I also probably should have inspected here. We'll get to do that, but yeah, not really much else to say. So because we lost the run, we're just gonna cut out to the end screen. But without further ado, I guess I'll see you when I see you. I tomorrow isn't, I think, Valentine's Day, because it's currently Thursday, but February 12th, it's fun!